Out of the 650 videos I've done to date, this video is by far the most important to my way of thinking. And the reason for that is rather obvious, and that is because what you do here will not only affect your life and your partner's life, but more importantly, the impact on a child can be either very great or very devastating. And no one has the right to recklessly cause devastation to an innocent child's life, especially when the child has no say at all in the decision around you dating and marrying their mother. I know for me, when I first started chatting with my now wife online and I found out that she had a 7-year-old daughter, it was something I really had to think about as we chatted more and started to become closer. We all know that many women and children in the Philippines don't have it particularly easy in life, and certainly I was very aware that they don't need me adding to their problems just because I was reckless or careless in my choices, or for not fully considering if I was to be totally committed should the relationship progress. So my thoughts as I got to know her more online was that I needed to be very sure before making any promises or progressing the relationship to something I may have any doubts over. Simply, when a child's involved in the situation, it's not okay to give the child undue worries or to cause additional problems to that child's life. And if one is not committed and is selfish and has the attitude of, we'll just see what happens, then to me, that's despicable. I knew after a few months of chatting online that I really needed to see her in person and also to meet her daughter in order to see if the relationship was what I truly was after, and more importantly, to know that I wouldn't be making two people's lives much more difficult than it should be. Now, I know some men don't take the same view and can easily walk away after making promises without giving the woman or the child a second thought. And personally, I don't know how they can live with themselves for doing such a thing. After I met my wife and daughter in the Philippines and had spent some time getting to know each of them, it was clear to me that I could see a future, and I became fully committed to progressing my dating relationship and as well as taking on the role of a stepfather for my wife's daughter. I knew that her father hadn't been in her life for several years, and I could feel a connection forming between me and my wife's daughter. And perhaps it was a yearning for her to have a father figure present in her life. Every step of the way, from chatting online to meeting and dating through to marriage, I had the emotional and physical welfare of my stepdaughter at the forefront of my mind. I hear many stories of men who don't take their relationship with a Filipina who has a child all that seriously, and they have some fun, feed her some lies and walk away, and most likely go on to the next Filipina to destroy her life just to get his thrills or boost his ego, not to mention how it affects the child around attachments and trust. And what really breaks my heart even more are the foreign men who date and marry a Filipina with a child only to have the Filipina come and live in his country and leave the child behind with relatives in the Philippines. I can only imagine how heartbreaking this must be for the Filipina, let alone for the child, who undoubtedly would be missing her mother greatly every single day and feeling like she has been deserted by the mother. So I really applaud Filipinas who may be watching this video not to let any man make you leave your child behind. And if he won't accept you and the child together and want to look after the both of you very well, then you shouldn't be with him. Understand that no man is worthy of you if he makes you do such a thing. Simply, if he doesn't want a child in his life, then he should find a woman who has no child. It really is that simple, and any man making a Filipina who has a child choose is not a man at all. Really, how could any man ask any woman to leave their child in another country so he can have his selfish life? For me, I was so glad that my daughter came to live with us in Australia as soon as we were able to get her visa approved. And yes, she was on the next flight, and yes, I do call her my daughter and not stepdaughter because that's the way I view her in my heart. She is my daughter in every other sense of the word apart from biology. and I would move heaven and earth for her if I could. She has provided much joy and happiness in not only my life but to our family, and it's been amazing over the past 4 years to watch her grow and learn so many new things right before my eyes. The time has flown by very quickly, and I enjoy and cherish every single minute, and I'm truly blessed not only to have found a wonderful, loving and caring woman to share my life with, but also for gaining a wonderful daughter. And I can't wait to see what life brings in the future for my daughter as she progresses through the rest of her education and beyond. So anyone considering if you'll date and marry a Filipina with a child or children, then please consider very thoughtfully and carefully, and if you decide that you're fully committed, then put your best foot forward to ensure you give your all to look after the both of them physically and emotionally, and you may be very well rewarded and enriched for doing so. Thanks for watching, stay safe and take care.